Hello everyone. I hope that you're all safe and well. I'm very sorry I fell a little behind you in grading. We had some power outages here as we got hit with some serious winter snow. I hope that you're all safe and well, and please email me if any road bumps have come up along the way. We're also exploring CTC Link, and I'm going to send you a series of links starting tomorrow. You'll be able to start to log in, and it's going really well. It's going to make everything so much easier, and it's like one portal that connects your financial aid, your classes, even your transcripts, kind of all in one place. So starting tomorrow, you'll be able to log in, and I'll be sharing some links with you on everything from where to log in to video tutorials and where to get help. So this week, I am also sending out just a video instruction, just this video of kind of my notes, the objectives, the goals for the week, and just any information that I need to share. And I'll still be here. I won't be just hosting virtual office hours, but that way I have more flexible time. So if you need help, even with how to do something, how to carve, how to add pieces of clay together, or you're having trouble with the clay cracking, or things aren't working well, please email me and we can schedule some time to get together and look at that together. You can also email me pictures too if you need help and feedback in your process. Art is always a process, and it's always kind of this connection between the idea that we have and making it a reality. And all sorts of things happen along the way that may be unexpected or not going as we would like or not going as planned. So art really teaches us to creative problem solve, to be resilient, to say, okay, well, that didn't work right, or work the way I had intended, but how do I adapt and adjust and still make something, still achieve my goals? So everyone did a great job with that in the last process, and I think you'll see in the grades as well that reflection, that's a big part of the grade for me. Another goal this week is to really make sure that you're planning out your time and you're investing your time over the course of the project so that you have some time to fail and maybe for things, to practice new techniques and to really figure that out and to finish the final piece. So last week, we started taking a look at Judy Chicago and the dinner party and how this artist created this wonderful installation that was also kind of a teaching tool. It was also in honor of all these women who've been left out of history and pointing our attention to this fact and to make people more aware, to raise and elevate awareness. And the project is for you to first decide on who your plate of honor, or it might be more than one person. It might be a bigger topic, a bigger theme. It might be the environment. Who does your plate of honor go to? And then thinking creatively with how do I say that artistically and creatively? I want you to apply the elements of art and the principles of design. Think about line, shape, color, texture, value, all of those things. And the process, I'm going to share our reading and viewing materials here. The process is also very much about carving, subtractive carving, how you carve away, and how you add. Additive sculpting, how you add and sculpt, how you build. Think about relief carving, and that's really the goal, is you You want to, and you can start with a slab. This project is also a great opportunity to work with slabs where you just roll out a slab of clay. And if you don't have a rolling pin, you could use things like soup cans, you could use water bottles, or you could use your hands and pat out a slab of clay. And then, how do you express your plate of honor? How do you express your ideas? So there's other artists as well. The last video is really one of my favorites. It's a ceramic artist from California who draws a lot of inspiration from Mexican art and the tree of life. And he sculpts these trees of life out of clay that are really beautiful. So there's many different techniques here to give you lots of different ideas. It's not that you have to follow every single technique. What's more important is that you think creatively and think of the right technique to help you achieve your goals. So it all depends on who that plate of honor, what your main idea is, and then what type of imagery, what type of metaphor, what type of symbols you have composed your composition, okay? How you have put your composition together to tell this story. That will determine whether you should use carving or really get sculptural and three-dimensional, okay? So you want to connect those ideas. And at the end, you can add color through paint. Oh, and this is fantastic. A lot of you have already continued this. So it looks like CTC Link is not slowing you down. That's great. And so far, mine worked really well with my new login. So far, so good. Hopefully that works great. So the sketchbook. So after you go through all that material and, okay, you've made some new discoveries, carving, wow, that looks like a lot of fun. I love carving. And, thinking, who do I want? What's my plate of honor? What's my main idea? Okay. Start sketching. Okay. And sketching doesn't always have to be drawing an image. Sketching can be taking notes. You could be writing notes of your ideas of all, okay, maybe you have lots of ideas, okay, and you may have to brainstorm and narrow it down to your main topic. So it's okay to take notes and write down ideas and then start to develop the composition. What is this final plate going to look like? You might even take notes on how you're going to put the plate together, okay? If you're working with slabs, it might almost look like the plans for a house, and have some notes of your steps and some things that you might want to do. The big criteria here is to invest at least 2 hours just in this process of sketching, thinking creatively. This is really the foundation of your piece. A lot of your success with the final piece comes from your investment of time right here. It's very much like the foundation of the house. If you build a very solid foundation, you'll have a rock solid house. And that's very much like your final work of art. It's very much your idea, your concept. And that's very important to me in the grade. You can also add color in the sketch and, start to think of, okay, what colors do I want to use and things like that. I have added, this quiz is really your final exam, okay? It's a 2-part. I'd like for you to take the first part this week, okay? And most of you have already completed this. If you haven't completed this yet, please go ahead, complete this quiz. You can go back, read over the content again, and as long as you take it before the final exam, it will take your highest score. So it's kind of like your final exam, but I'm giving you 2 takes. And in that way, you can improve your score and make sure that you know this content, This is really important content that you should know, especially if you're going on to take more visual arts classes. So it's the elements of art, the principles of design, and the stages of clay. And there's an extra step this week. I have added a process discussion. This is the plate of honor in process, halfway. At your halfway point, we're going to do process critiques for the rest of our projects. This gives us a chance to use critique in a very constructive way, where we are giving feedback and before you have the final piece, so it gives you an opportunity to make things better here. It's worth 40 points, and it's due this Sunday, and everybody is in groups of 3 to 4, so it's just a smaller group. So it's not the whole class. So hopefully that helps get rid of some of the fear or apprehension about maybe sharing your work in process. I know I kind of feel that way. I often don't like to share my work until it's finished. But after going through that process as a student, I learned so much from my classmates. And it also really helped us to build a more collegial community where we were really all about helping each other, building and supporting each other's work. And that was a wonderful place to grow and be creative. So that's also what critique can do. We often think about critique as a scary thing, but if you use it in a very constructive way, and you can use it in a very positive way, you can really use it to refine your art. So this is the process critique. You want to include a visible image. Make sure that's embedded. Make sure all the images for all your discussions are always visible, so we don't have to download anything. And include a 6-sentence reflection where you are, giving that constructive feedback, giving that positive feedback. And include one question for both for me and the group about your work. It can be about where it should go. It could be about the color. It could be about the design, anything. Post a question, and that should help us to formulate the discussion and kind of give us some direction. And then share 2 positive and constructive critiques with your group and help problem solve. And then about we're about, February 21st. So we've got a couple days here, okay, a little bit over a week before your final plate of honor is finished. So I would recommend dividing up your time into about 4 sessions, maybe 1 to 2 hours, so that you've got time to process and think after. I don't recommend trying to bunch it all into one sitting, because then sometimes you feel stressed, you feel, okay, I got to get this done. So it's better to space it out in little chunks. And usually the first session, you're kind of building up ideas, you're gathering information, you're going through the reading materials, you're sketching, you're taking notes. And then the second, you're really getting that composition together, you're getting the plan together. In the third session, you start to construct and you start to build. Maybe you get about halfway with the piece. In the final session, you refine that piece. Maybe you sculpt, you add details. You wait for the piece to dry and you add color, you paint. So, about 4 sessions of time, gives you some good pacing for your creative process. You'll add the visible image and some notes on your creative process, your inspiration, who is the plate of honor dedicated to, and also your creative problem solving. And I hope that you're able to find a way to really have fun with this. There's some other resources here on some more videos of some wonderful relief carving. And send me an email if you need any help. Have a great week and stay safe, everybody.